Alright guys, so here's our second part um, to our new videos this week. It's going to be over primary and secondary sources. So this is important, especially for my older kiddos who are going to start writing papers. So my kids going into third grade, this is going to be really important for you because you're going to have to write something that's not an opinion or a narrative. You're going to have to write something that is informative. And so where you get that information, you're going to have to cite. You're going to have specific places you get those facts. You're going to have to tell me where you get them. So you're going to tell me, you're going to get those facts from two places, either a primary or a secondary source. And so all that is telling me if something is first person, or a picture, something like that, something that is primary, first-hand account. And then secondary is a retelling of that account, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write some definitions so you have those to help you out, okay? So a primary source. Primary source, I'm going to write specific definition so that when you look this up later, is an artifact, a document, or other source of information that was created at the time under study, at the time that you're talking about, okay? Of the event. Okay, so it's an artifact. So if you're talking about medieval times, this could be a sword. If you're talking about the first time there was ever a rock concert, so an Elvis concert, you could talk about his guitar, okay, or his microphone, or his suits, right? That's something that's big, or his hair even. If you had a piece of his hair. A document, this could be a letter, it could be a biography, or an autobiography, not a biography, an autobiography, a story that somebody wrote about themselves, specific to an event. It could be a picture, which it would be another source. It could be a picture of that event, or it could be, I don't know, it could be tons of things. It could be a recording. So like this right here is a primary source. You watching this, me making this video is a primary source, okay? So we're gonna do some examples. We're gonna say a letter, a picture, weapon, pen. Okay. So this marker could be an artifact. If you would ask, what's an artifact of the video that Miss Andrea made? Okay. So this is a primary source. I'm going to move this over here. You can't really see it because of the light. Let's do it this way. There you go. Okay. All right. I miss my sticky ones. All right, now we're going to talk about secondary source. All right, a secondary source, I'm reading the definition before I write, okay? 2 is an opinion, an account, or interpretation of past events by someone who wasn't actually there. So, an opinion, an account, or interpretation. So this can be a little confusing because it is not only an account. So like if you're using an artifact, a primary source artifact would be, like I said, a sword from medieval times that was dug out of the ground. Okay, if you take that sword and you make a copy of it and an example of it that you're going to hang up, then that would be a secondary source because it would be referencing or interpreting, right? Interpreting that original sword, okay? So this could be a copy of a painting. This could be a painting of a picture. So Miss Andrea has this picture right here on the wall. If I would go and I would have somebody paint a picture of my picture, that would be a secondary source. If I was writing a paper on, coronavirus, like somebody an account of how somebody fared. It wasn't my account. It wasn't my life. Like I wasn't sick. I was just telling you what happened to that person who was sick. Okay. If I would tell you how I like the Red Sox, okay? I like the Red Sox. They're the greatest team ever. That's an opinion, okay? Factually, if you give me statistics, that would be the primary source would be the statistics. My opinion is a secondary source, okay? So this would be somebody writing. This would be somebody explaining what someone told them, right? So an example of this would be retelling a story. Right? If I told you, so today I woke up, I cleaned my house, and I made this video. And I said, I want you to write that down. What did Miss Andrea do today? Your paper would say, Miss Andrea woke up, she cleaned her house, and she made a video. That is a secondary source. That is a retelling of my story, okay? You didn't live my story, but you retold it, okay? So retelling a story, like I said, a painting of a picture or a picture of a painting or piece of art. So, picture of art, painting of a picture. Okay. All right, let me see. Let me make sure here. We don't got any other good examples. All right, and then we're going to do encyclopedia. Encyclopedias. textbooks. Okay, so for the most part, all your textbooks, your encyclopedias, worksheets are going to be secondary sources, unless they have like bits and pieces of like notes or letters. Okay, so let's put you in front of this one. Alrighty, so we've done examples. I've told you what both are. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a whole bunch of different things on, I'm going to write a whole bunch of different sources on here, okay? And what I want you to do is I want you to create a T-chart. Remember, it's like, I'm going to make it real quick. It's just like this. And then I want you to write primary on one side and secondary on the other, okay? And how I want you to do this is I want you to label, like I'm going to number each one, so it's going to be 1 through 5, and so it's going to be like 1, 4, 2, 3, 5, okay? Now, this is not the answer. It's not going to be this easy, okay? But I want you, so number 1 would have been primary. If I'm looking at this, number 2 was primary, number 3 was primary. Number 4 was secondary, and number 5 was secondary, okay? So, if you want help, that's fine. Do your best, take your best guesses. If you're still really confused, that's fine. But have your notes, make sure that you wrote down and you've make sure you wrote down the examples, because that would be helpful. I'm going to pick stuff that I picked, like that I picked as examples. They're going to be specific ones. So it's not going to say retelling of a story. It's going to say a movie based on a true story. Okay? Picture of art. Be the photograph of the Mona Lisa. Okay? Textbook. I'm going to say a complete history of World War II. All right? For primary, I'm going to say a picture of a picture of JFK giving his inaugural address. Or a letter from President Obama to a second grade student. Okay? So those are going to be the kind of things that you're going to see. And I'm going to write them down, and they're going to be numbered. And for each number, so say number 1 is secondary. You're going to write 1 over here in secondary. Say number 2 was secondary or primary. So number 2 is primary. You're going to write 2 over here in primary. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, I apologize, and you can just write down 1 primary, 2 secondary. But for the purpose of making sure that you paid attention to the video and did not just fast forward to the question part, I want you to make a T-chart, okay? And I also want you to give me two of the examples that I have given in specifically in the video. So primary, you're going to go back, rewind to the sheet that had primary on it. And secondary, you're going to go back to your notes and look at what the examples were for secondary. Okay? Make sense? All right. All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and write them. I should have some music in the background or something. Right? No? All right, I wish I could pause it so that I could cut all that out. All right, guys, I went ahead and I wrote this down. Ooh. Maybe see here. Stand on this side. Be a little bit easier. All right, so here are your questions. 1, The Trail of Tears, the movie. 2, a letter from President George W. Bush to Laura Bush. 3, a picture of the Dream Team winning a gold medal. 4, a musket from the Civil War. And 5, second grade world history book. So you're going to put those in a T-chart. Each number, you don't have to write the whole thing out, just the number. If it's a primary source, you write the number of the source on primary, and if it's a secondary source, you write the number of the source under secondary, okay? So it's pretty simple. Hopefully you enjoyed this video a little bit. If you completely got it, you understand primary and secondary sources, give me a gold star. All right? And if you are so lost that you need some more help with this, which is perfectly fine, this is a very short video, give me my zombie, all right? You guys are probably like saying this already, like, Miss Andrea wants a zombie. You're correct, I do. I want a zombie, okay? And if you're kind of like, I get a little bit, I want a purple star. Okay? So, good luck. Have a great rest of your day. And I will see you for a Friday math video.